Hello everyone, Dion Johnson here, the Womaologist. Welcome to episode 3 of the Influencer video series. This is for you if you are a woman in senior leadership. You are a CEO, a director, head of department, head of region, strategic lead in particularly the third sector and public sector space. And you're really sold on the idea of your ongoing professional development. You value your development and your growth. This is for you. My name is Dion Johnson. I'm the Womaologist, and my work is really all about helping women to evolve as women leaders and change makers. I really care about you making the difference that you're in that position to make, making your mark, improving things, transforming the systems that you preside over, transforming the systems that produce results for the public, for people in need, people in trouble, people who are poor, people who are sick, people who are in trouble, weak, vulnerable, needy, disenfranchised. You know what I'm saying, that our work is particularly geared towards making life better for the public. So I welcome you. As you're coming in, I ask that you would just say hi to me in the chat. It's really quite lonely doing these videos. I'm a conversationalist at heart, so I really enjoy rapport. I really enjoy conversation and dialogue, and making these videos is just a bit sweeter when you say hi to me and you watch live and you talk to me in the chat. So if you're watching on the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay. If you've got any questions or comments, I will respond to you later. But it's also really good if you join me live. So why don't you consider subscribing to my channel? I'll be doing these broadcasts regularly every weekday for the foreseeable future. They are going to be stories and strategies and insights and ideas and information to inspire you and to equip you as an ongoing, developing, as an evolving woman of influence. If that sounds good to you, then welcome. So today, actually, before I talk about today, let me talk about this week, because this is the launch week of Influencer. And if I was to think about a theme for this week, it would be that there is more. There is more. I mean that there's more for you to be, to do, to say, to create, to make happen as a woman in leadership. But there's also more for us collectively as public servants and public service to see, to accomplish, to achieve. There's more for us in the public sector and third sector to there's room for us to transform and improve our results and our outcomes in the way that we impact those people that we serve. And then there's more for the people that we serve, right? There's huge potential for them to be doing better, for them to be accomplishing more, having better health, better well-being in whatever area of their life, but better employment prospects, better literacy, better health, better well-being, just generally speaking. So that's the theme for this week of Influencer, is that there's more. And so today, what I thought was I would talk to a really particular aspect of us all achieving more. And it is about raising your ambition. It's about strengthening your ambition. Now, your ambition is just the drive to make something in particular happen. And so, I'm thinking about two anecdotes, two analogies, two metaphors that I want to share with you today, just to start to tickle that muscle called ambition of yours. I want to offer these stories, these anecdotes, for you to consider the scope for more, bigger, higher thinking when it comes to the results that you are achieving for yourself, for your clients and customers, for the staff that you lead, for your organization, and for your industry, right? So the first anecdote, the first story is the difference. It's not a story, it's actual fact, right? The difference between a million and a billion. Sometimes we talk about a million and a billion, and we talk about it as though they're kind of like in the same ballpark. But about 10 years ago, somebody blew my mind when they explained to me that if you add 1,000,000 seconds to your life, you will have lived, or you will live an extra 11 days. An extra 11 days. That's 1,000,000 seconds added to your life. You will get an extra 11 days. But if somebody adds 1,000,000,000 seconds to your life, then you will get 33 years. Think about that. 11 days is 1,000,000 seconds added to your life, and 33 years is 1,000,000,000 seconds added to your life. There is a huge gap between 1,000,000 and 1,000,000,000. And I really want you to say, because sometimes it's when we say million or we say billion, often we're talking metaphorically. We're not really talking about real numbers. We're just trying to make a point, like with millions and millions and millions of something. It's usually just, we're trying to talk about a lot, right? And sometimes we interchange that word million with billion. But I want to point out today, like real slow, I want you to think about this, the difference between 1,000,000 and 1,000,000,000. And I'm raising this because we're talking about strengthening our ambition. I'm hoping that this is tickling you to see that there is a huge scope. Just like there's a difference between 1,000,000 and 1,000,000,000, there is a huge scope between where we are right now in public service results and where we could get to in terms of making things better for the people that we serve. There is a huge scope, like 1,000,000 to 1,000,000,000. There's a huge scope for improving outcomes, for transforming results, right? So the next thing I want to share with you is an analogy. And I want you to think about it like this. I want you to think about, imagine that you are like me. I'm in London right now. And you are in London and you are going to Scotland. So Scotland is like a 7-hour drive. I should have looked up how many miles away it is, but it's far, right? It's the furthest thing, like John O'Groats. From London to John O'Groats is like the furthest you can get in England. It's the furthest point. They're very far apart, right? So I'm asking you to consider, if you were having to go to John O'Groats today from London, what car would you like to go in? Would you like to go in the original classic first edition Ford car? Or would you like to go in a state-of-the-art 2019 straight off the press Bentley? What did you say? Bentley? I'm imagining that you're saying Bentley, right? And of course, why wouldn't you want to go in a Bentley? Because we know that the Bentley is a really luxurious car, sumptuous leather. The engine purrs like a contented kitten. It's really a luxurious experience. It's not even just a car, it's an experience, right? So to be chauffeur driven in that Bentley to John O'Groats from London would be no problem at all. Like, this is a vehicle of choice, right? But what if you were in London and you had to go to Australia? Which one would you choose then? Would you choose the original Ford, or would you choose the Bentley? Neither, right? Neither, because a car can take you from London to Scotland in fine style. But a car is an inappropriate vehicle for you to go from London to Australia, right? And this is what I mean by raising and strengthening our ambition. It's time for us to get with the program, that the kind of results that I'm hoping you want to see, that I'm banking on you wanting to see in your industry, in your organization, in your field, and for your customers and clients. The kind of transformation that we want to see happening in their life is like, we want to go from London to Australia. It's like we're miles away from it. We're so far away from it that we can't keep using the same old vehicle. We can't even just get a nicer version of the vehicle or a more up-to-date version of this vehicle. We have to change the vehicle. And that's what I mean by upping our ambition. What the vehicle looks like to get us from where we are right now to where we have to get to is unique to your field, your industry. But I'm talking about upping our ambition and strengthening our ambition muscle to begin to think, because everything starts with thinking. So if we can begin to think first, if we begin to imagine, to aspire, to have ambition for this massive leap and strengthen our capacity to think bigger, then you know what happens when we start to think bigger? We start to aim for bigger. We start to go for more. I think in this video today, what I'm suggesting is that we begin to strengthen our ambition muscle. That I want you to start to imagine, think about the problems that are existing in your particular area. If you're working with young people, think about the particular results that you're getting time and time again. Or if you're working with the elderly or the poor or the in trouble or the in jail or the sick, think about the biggest problems that you're facing right now. And then then up your ambition. Maybe you've got $1 million mark ambition right now, but let's go to a billion. Let's go from London to Australia in our thinking first about what's possible, what could be. You know, I think about the people, there's this quote, isn't there, about Kennedy who said, you know, that we will go to the moon. We will go to the moon. Well, they didn't know how they were going to go to the moon. They didn't know when they were going to go to the moon. But they've made the decision that they are going to the moon. And that was a huge, that was from where they were standing, their knowledge base at the time, it was a huge assumption to believe that that would be possible. But it starts, doesn't it, with ambition. It starts with the ambition to go. So I'm encouraging you today to strengthen your ambition muscle. Think about that. What does that mean? What does that look like? Thinking big is an art form, and you have to practice, just like building any muscle. You have to, you know, build that thing. You have to repetition. You have to lift weights repetitively. And so I'm encouraging you to think repetitively about what your ambitions could be for your organization, your industry, and your field where you're leading right now. I'm Dion Johnson, the Womaologist, and this is Influencer in episode 3. And, you know, we broadcast every weekday, so I'll be back tomorrow, Friday, for episode 4. And I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.